In your university life, you may be asked to write project reports. First, we need to understand what a project report is. A project report is defined as a means to present your investigation by undertaking a comprehensive literature search, collecting relevant data, and applying suitable methods to test theories or hypotheses. It also involves analysing and evaluating possible factors which contribute to the observed data results and patterns. It also involves discussing and drawing a reasonable conclusion for the whole investigation in an organised and logical manner. At the Hong Kong Polytechnic University, project reports as an assignment genre can be categorised within the genre families of literature surveys, methodology recounts, and research reports. All of these have the common goal of building research skills. Project reports serve as a foundation in preparation for writing a much longer research report, such as your final year project report or undergraduate dissertation. Now let's look at how you can prepare for your project report. First, you should make a writing plan to distribute your writing workload within a time frame. Next, continue your writing and investigation of the report topic simultaneously as you plan and develop its format and style. Also, you should remember to filter and synthesize relevant information and knowledge, and prepare to thoroughly explain the techniques or methods adopted and results obtained in your project. You may want to use visual aids to help with this. Finally, assume the readers of your project report are laymen with no technical knowledge of your area. Your role is to guide them through the topic. Now, let's examine how you should structure your project report. Please note that your own subject teacher may require you to include some or all the sections and moves according to different assessment purposes, subjects, and disciplines. This table shows the structure of types of reports. Now, let's look at the typical components of project report structure in more detail. The title page includes the basic information of the project, the institution's name, the department's name, the programme of study, the subject code and name, the title project report, the author's full name, the student number if appropriate, the lecturer or supervisor's name, and the submission date. Scientific reports will include a descriptive title that indicates the content of the project and sometimes describes the major findings. Non-scientific reports will include a title that defines the topic concisely but comprehensively. The next section, abstract, should be used mainly for long reports. An abstract should give an overview of all the key information in the report, namely the objective, methods, analyses, key findings and results, and conclusions. The keywords section is optional and is included mainly in long reports. It should include a short list of words related to your project that is used in the discipline or field. The introduction section for scientific reports should introduce the topic by providing background information and objectives for the project without consulting literature. It should clearly state the objective of the project. Also, it should define major terms and concepts, and provide a preview for the subsequent content of the report. For non-scientific reports, the introduction should outline the project or issue to be addressed. This means it should outline the aim of the project and provide the context of the project with references to literature or other resource material to be used. A table of contents section is included mainly in long reports. It should provide an index for the convenience of readers to locate sections through corresponding page numbers in the report. The next section which we will examine is the main body of text or the literature review. This should address the issues or solutions in response to the project's objective and provide an analysis of all related aspects, factors or matters. For scientific literature surveys or scientific reports, this section should include the following. First, describe the historical development and current state of the topic or issue chronologically. Next, indicate and describe the related previous studies and scholars' chief contributions. Finally, indicate correlations, contradictions, and gaps in knowledge, and outline your approach to them. You should divide this section into subsections with appropriate headings or subheadings to reflect various aspects of the topic. Also, remember to include tables to assist with a comparison between approaches or results from different studies. The next section is materials and methods. This section should first describe the design of the experiment or research performed. Next, it should state the analytical methods adopted for data analysis and explain why they are suitable. Finally, it will describe the experimental or research procedures which are replicable for other researchers. Now, let's examine the section titled Results. This section should describe the experiments performed, present the results in either tabular or graphic format without discussing them, and indicate meaningful aspects of the data in appropriate order. Such order should be from the most significant and important item to the least. Also, remember to use visuals or sets of formulas to synthesize and present key findings and results, and add captions or explanations to describe them. A closer connection between graphics and text helps your elaboration as well as the reader's understanding of your points. You may also combine this section with the discussion section to allow your explanation to flow better, or to develop a narrative to account for the relationship between results and approaches. Alternatively, you may combine this section with the conclusion section. If so, include the following content. First, draw conclusions and indicate the significance of your results. Next, suggest improvements for the experiment or research. Then, suggest implementations of the findings in a business report. If more time and resources are available, suggest further project directions. For non-scientific reports, you should restate the problem or issue to be addressed. Then, outline the main solutions or responses to the problem or issue. Next, account for the favourable solutions with supporting evidence, and provide recommendations if appropriate. Remember that original thoughts are counted heavily in this section. For mainly long reports, the section Appendices Illustrations should include complex materials, such as a questionnaire template, or detailed figures or tables that are not necessary for your analyses and discussions in the main text, or would disrupt the flow of your report or significantly lengthen the results section. A glossary section, also for long reports, will provide definitions of technical or disciplinary terms that may be unfamiliar to readers. When writing the body sections, you are advised to closely follow the assignment guidelines given by your department or lecturers. For instance, the use and style of subheadings or headings, word limit, section length, especially for sections with visuals, appendices, font, line spacing and margins. You should read the project report's genre guide for further details regarding how to write body sections. So, what are the appropriate language conventions for project reports? Project reports usually adopt an academic writing style, even though their format, content and presentation may vary for different subjects and disciplines. Academic writing, as well as science and technical writing, requires conciseness and clarity. It is important to keep your language simple, accurate and objective when you express ideas. Table 4 in the project report's genre guide includes a list of the most common verbs for university assignments and exams. Now, let's examine ways in which you can demonstrate objectivity by using impersonal language. The main ways include avoiding first and second personal pronouns, such as I, me, one, you, and we or us. Use structures like it is or there is, are, to introduce sentences using the appropriate tense. Also, use structures like this is or these are For more specific points with a clear reference to the noun phrases appearing in the previous statements. The appropriate tense should be used. For example, in Ju and Zhao's 2015 literature, they studied the origin and the development of polluter pays principle, PPP. This literature also specifically discussed the PPP and waste management in Hong Kong. Finally, use the passive instead of the active voice in order to focus on the action, but not the actor who performed the action. It is better to maintain a good distribution and a reasonable number of passive constructions so as to avoid distracting your readers. The following table from the project report's genre guide summarises the appropriate verb tense or forms for different moves in project reports. For example, you should use the past tense when describing procedures and techniques of the research. Now, let's discuss hedging and assertive language. When you are not sure how correct your explanations, inferences, or implications are, or there is more than one possible factor or variable, you should avoid being direct and definite. This is called hedging. The following are some ways of hedging. First, the use of modals like may, might, would, or could plus the verb. For example, choosing a site to build new landfills may take a long time for the Hong Kong government, and nobody would support a building program if it is harmful to them. Next, use verbs like seem, appear, suggest, and indicate. Finally, hedging can be used with the use of adjectives and adverbs like possible, possibly, and probable, probably. You should now have a clearer understanding of how to write a project report in terms of structure and language. Remember to follow the information found within this video and read the project report's genre guide for further information. Finally, remember to follow your teacher's instructions carefully.